Hi, my name is Christina and I am your librarian here at Christina's Bookshelf. And today I am bringing you a totally different kind of review than I normally do. This isn't romance, it's really kind of a how-to manual. And you're kind of like, what the hell? Here we go. This book, and yes, I'm reading from my phone because I don't want to mess it up in any way, shape, or form, is, and I will give you the backstory after I tell you the title, because I think it's fantastic. Book title: Marital Advice to My Grandson Joel. How to be a husband your wife won't throw out of the window in the middle of the night. First off, I don't think there's any grand scheme of advice you can give to anybody that somebody's not going to want to throw them out the window in the middle of the night. There's always going to be that moment when I'm like, I could get rid of you right now and not feel an ounce of remorse. Tonight. Tomorrow, yes, but not tonight. This book is written by Peter Davidson, published by Sweet Memories Publishing. Peter reached out to me on LinkedIn and asked if I would do a review for this. And I was like, yes, this sounds really interesting. And my goal was to have it out before the royal wedding, because you have the royal wedding, then you had my wedding anniversary, and June is like the wedding month. And I was like, this is going to be a great book to get people really excellent advice in this, even though it's like souped in stories that are just hilarious of grandeur. I just think it's just a great thing. So if you know somebody that's getting married, somebody that's renewing their wedding vows, somebody that can use some tips. The moment that Peter realized his grandson Joel was getting married, Peter was like, I'm going to write down some little tidbits of information to make this marriage a little bit more smoother for you. That way you can go into this with more knowledge and wisdom than he himself, Peter, went into his marriage. He ended up writing a book. And like I said, I think this follows under any couple, whether you are MF, MM, FF, like any couple whatsoever, this pertains. I laughed so hard through some of these stories, some of the sections. Like there's a whole section that Peter devotes to passing gas. And I think that my husband really needs to like read this and then maybe reread this and then maybe do some research and write a thesis, because he has not passed this class. And there were some things I thought that were outright hilarious, because Peter's giving advice to his grandson on how to properly do something, when in fact, like, it's a total reverse for our situation. In here, Peter has stories that were passed on to him by relatives, by friends of the family. He obviously has his own stories that he's passing down to his grandson, and just tidbits of words of wisdom, I want to say, that he has gathered throughout. He talks about grocery shopping and the importance of words, how we need to, as both men and women, need to use our words wisely and mean what we say. To this day, if I want something specific from the grocery store, I have to have a visual and like text it to my husband. Back in the day, before we had the texting and whatever, I just had to go to the store and get it myself. Now, if I want something of a specific brand and size, like I will go to the store's website, take a picture, text it to my husband, and be like, this is what I want. Because if I said that I just wanted mayonnaise, I would get generic mayonnaise. No, Mama wants Hellmann's, okay? Like, get that. Peter gives us like the law of compromise. And that section was, I mean, all of it's real and tangible. And I've seen it with my own eyes, either through my marriage or somebody else's marriage. But the law of compromise kind of hit me personally, because for a while, my husband and I just kind of did stuff because that's what we were supposed to do. And here lately, we've put our foot down on certain things, like I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. I mean, there were other things, like when my husband and I were dating. In Kansas City, we have Starlight Theater, and it's an outdoor amphitheater. And there's concerts and musicals and all sorts of things that happen there. And my husband and I were engaged, and he took me to go see Beauty and the Beast. And I had a blast. As we were leaving, he kissed me and he said, I will never do this again. Just so you know. He has never done it again. So like I said, as soon as Peter's grandson said he was getting married, he came up with this fabulous idea to write down some words of wisdom, which turned into this wonderful book with excellent advice, wonderful stories, realism, humor to the extreme. I laughed so hard, and I just saw so much of my own marriage, my own relationship now. I saw some from the past. It's great. It's wonderful. If you have friends, like I said, getting married, you have your own anniversary coming up, some renewal of vows coming up, you just want to get it because I highly recommend this book. So good. Fabulous, fantastic. I think it works for any couple, regardless of your sexual orientation. You're going to find something that's absolutely just perfect in here. My words of wisdom to any couple out there that's struggling, that's starting off, anything really. Every time somebody says, what's your word of advice? Here's what I have to say. Don't look at another relationship and say, I want that, because you will never have it. You and your significant other are not those people. So you will never have what they have. You will have what you and your significant other have. And as long as you're not looking at somebody else and comparing, you will have what you have, and however you create it will be wonderful. That's my big thing, is don't look at somebody else's relationship and say, I want to have that. That's my words of wisdom. I highly suggest that you look at Peter Davidson's words of wisdom. Once again, I'm gonna get my phone out because I don't want to mess up the title. Marital advice to my grandson, Jewel. How to be a husband your wife won't throw out of the window in the middle of the night. By Peter Davidson. I am giving 5 stars. I highly suggest, if you want to read it just for yourself, get it on ebook. I think I'm going to buy a couple on paperback and have them just like in storage and be like, oh, I'm invited to this wedding. Insta gift. So what I am going to do for you is I am going to leave the Amazon link down below so you can click it and be on your way to some good humor, wonderful advice, and lovely stories that are real, believable, tangible, and full of love from a grandfather to a grandson. If you've enjoyed this review, I'm gonna ask that you help me with that YouTube algorithm and give me a like. Leave me a comment. I'd love to interact with you guys, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm recovering from surgery, so I honestly don't know when new content comes out, and that is the magic of the subscribe button, is that you will get a notification when I have something new for you. If you like me and think this chick's pretty awesome, down below I'm going to leave stalker links aplenty. Go, click, investigate, enjoy. If you have a book or an arc you'd like me to read, or some light editing proofreading you would like done, you may request via website. Marriage Advice to My Grandson Joel by Peter Davidson. 5 stars. Bye.